And we have a special guest with us here today, a gem of sorts. I'd like to call up to the stage Mr. J. Ratan Kumar, a man that is both a national fame and a local talent. Okay. All right. And of course, last but definitely not least, we also have with us from Netwa's side Professor Venu Vinod, who is the secretary of the NITWAA Warangal chapter.
I request Professor Srinath, Treasurer, also come on to the dais. And today with us, one special guest is here. She is our alumni, 92 batch civil, the superintendent engineer of irrigation department, Madam Srimati Sumati Devigar. Please join with us.
Now, as we all know, talks like these are meant to be a platform for the speaker to impart wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is what has made humanity what it is today, and it all started with the discovery of fire. To signify the importance of this talk and knowledge as a whole, let's start this off by lighting the lamps for the ceremony. Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to ask everyone to... I didn't introduce myself for the first time, but my name is Loknath Mahanti, and I'm an electrical student here. I'm a second-year electrical student here. All right. So, I'd like you all to stand up once again. I'm sorry I waited until you sat down. For the national song, Vande Mataram.
Vande
All right, now let's move on to the main events scheduled for today. The first of which is the inauguration of the calendar by NETWA. So we'll start off the inauguration with a couple of opening remarks by the Secretary of NETWA's Warangal chapter, Professor Venu Vinod.
Good evening all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome distinguished guest of today's function, Sri T. Krishna Prasad Garu, alumnus of this institute, 83 batch mechanical, and our own beloved director, Professor N.V. Raman Rao, Dean Student Welfare, Professor Ravi Kumar Puli, Dean Faculty Welfare, Professor Y.N. Reddy, Registrar Govardhan Rao Garu, President of NITWA Warangal Chapter, Chandragiri Srinivas, and Madam Sumati, and my colleague Srinath, and dear students, other faculty members and alumni. So it's a very special moment for us because one of the alumnus, an illustrious alumnus, has kindly consented to visit the institute and address the students. So he is none other than Sri T. Krishna Prasad, IPS, 1983 mechanical batch, and who is also awarded with distinguished alumnus by our own institute. So it's a prestigious recognition for any alumnus, right? So that should be motivation for all of you to get recognized once you pass out from the institute by your alma mater itself. So the Warangal chapter has been carrying out a lot of activities for the last 2-3 years, right?
Warm good evening to all. అమ్మ జన్మనిచ్చింది, ఆర్ఈసి నాకు జీవితాన్ని ఇచ్చింది. మదర్ గేవ్ అస్ బర్త్ వైల్ అవర్ ఆల్మా మ్యాటర్ RECW, presently NITW, shaped our lives. I am Chandragiri Srinivas, standing before you as a president of Warangal chapter, NIT Warangal Alumni Association. I am here because that is the wisdom and knowledge I gained here in my alma mater by our great gurus. Once again, my pranams to our gurus. Chief guest of the today's evening, Professor N.V. Ramana Rao Garu, Director NIT Warangal, as well as Chief Patron, NIT Warangal Alumni Association, who is constant inspiration to our alumni activities, especially his vivacious presence, supported by all the activities taken up by our Warangal chapter since past 3 years. Today's honorable guest, Sri Tenneti Krishna Prasad Garu, Indian Police Service, former Director General of Police, Road Safety of Government of Telangana. Welcome you, sir. This is a novel idea ourselves of Warangal chapter conceived that why not we organize a notable alumni. NIT Warangal is always famous for our alumni across the globe. Our director always tell that our alumni are our ambassadors. So today with us our ambassador Sri T. Krishna Prasad Garu to this is the first program. We have called it as a Know Our Notable Alumni to perform the famous Kakatiya's one and only notable art form, that is Perini Nrutyam. So welcome them also. And today's honorable guest of honor, Professor Ramasheshu Garu, Dean IRA, He is out of station. He is already informed his non-availability with us. Anyhow, welcome him also. And Professor Puli Ravikumar sir, Dean Student Welfare, who is the man behind all students. You are here because our support from Student Welfare Dean, Professor Ravikumar sir, welcome him. And Dean Student Welfare, Dean Faculty Welfare, and is our special person for Warangal chapter, because he is our founder secretary in the year in the last 20 years, means 2002. Our Warangal chapter got registered. He was the founder secretary at that time. Professor Y.N. Reddy Garu is our proud alumni as well as Dean Faculty Welfare. Welcome you, sir. And I welcome our beloved Registrar Shri Govardhan Rao Garu for this August gathering. And I welcome our Secretary Warangal Chapter, Professor Venu Vinod, who is happened to me, my batchmate. And I welcome Professor S. Srinath, Treasurer of Warangal Chapter, and also with us a special, my immediate junior. She is 92 batch civil. She is a superintendent engineer, Karimnagar at present in I&D CAD department. So welcome Srimati Sumati Devi Garu and our esteemed alumni members from the Warangal chapter and students community who are here in this great evening. So you are here means you have sacrificed something, your time, your enjoyment, and something Friday evening means a weekend evening. So with great sacrifice you are here, but this is going to be a memorable evening for you. Those who are nowadays we are seeing last in the month of June 2022, we have organized a similar program like felicitations to our civil services toppers. One was Bharadwaj, Maurya Bharadwaj, IAS, and another one was Miss Chaitanya Reddy. She was into IPS. At that time also we have arranged an interaction session with them. That was a huge success. From then also, on behalf of our Nitwarangal Alumni Association, we are conducting some special coaching programs and donation of some library books also for the civil services aspirants. So in that way also, your year means you are cream of the institute now. You may go to civil services. So for those, it is a very beneficial program today evening. Andhra Pradesh Industrial Infrastructure Development Corporation, APIIDC. So at that time only, that high-tech city, high-techs, all are conceptualized and taken place. In the era of Shri Nara Chandrababu Naidu was the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. At that time, when Bill Clinton also visited our country. So in that way also is very famous. Now he is, after retirement also, he is running his foundation known as KP Foundation. So that all we will discuss in detail later. Anyway,
the film field, you have got Ram Jogai Shastri, and I think Srinivas Chandra will definitely invite him to visit at NIT Warangal. We have similarly in the political field also we have Kaveri Sambasivarao. In the construction field we have Krishnaya. In the IAS we have Surendra Mohan, who is the PS. Like that there are many people, and in the police of course we have T. Krishna Prasad, and we also have the former DGP Mahendra Reddy, and then former CBI officer V.V. Lakshmanan. Wherever you go, you have the privilege of meeting an alumni who belongs to NIT Warangal, and the RC Varangal. So you have really a very comfortable position, and I am very happy that Professor Ravi Kumar Pulli has managed to get all the first year students and many students. Thanks to Sai Pravat and Harish for mobilizing, because you are the person who will going to get the direct benefit from this interaction. Another thing I would like to tell you that NIT Varangal is regularly conducting several alumni meets in a year. We have the 10-year alumni meet, 10-year students have completed 10 years after passing out. We have the 15-year alumni meet, we have the 20, 25, 30, 40, 45, 50 and 60-year alumni meet also. So that is, we have so many alumni in a year. We also have part-time degree holders batches which conduct regularly the meets, and many times the alumni visit in large numbers to our institute. So my advice to young students like you is please interact with them. They'll have many experiences, they can share that. From my side, I'm very happy that, as a director, I feel that today alumni relations are a very important part of a institute's advancement, unless, because many times I can tell you that after I've taken over as a director very recently, we have started the NITW Endowment Fund. And in less than 6 months, we have collected 150 lakh of rupees. That is the amount of donation. And please note that this will be useful totally for the development of institute infrastructures like, labs and all that, so that you will get the direct benefit. Not only that, most of you may not be aware, we have set up in the electrical department, the ABB Hitachi Center of Excellence. That is also a total contribution, idea for alumni. And then we have the Siemens Center of Excellence. So we want to make this institute the top in the country by taking helping hand from the alumni. And I am very happy that I always believe that alumni are the institute's most. By engaging the alumni in our institution development, the institution can continue to benefit from the skills of the alumni and their expertise. So today alumni are great role models for the current students and are often well placed to offer practical support, suggestions, and as they start their careers. You are all going to start your careers very soon, and you can take the tips from the alumni. If you remember 2 years back or 1 year back, we had felicitated some of the people who got IAS, got selected in IAS, how they actually planned their education. Whatever field you take, you should have the passion and skill. I am sure that you will definitely, and the alumni will definitely help you out, okay? So I always believe that our alumni are our institution ambassadors that take the knowledge of our institution to their hometowns, countries and other professions and social networks. So we believe that maintaining a positive relationship with our alumni means that the messages they share about the institution will also be positive and current. So by maintaining communication channels like this, what we are doing today, we can believe that we can keep our alumni informed of the achievements of the institution. In fact, we have come out with a alumni newsletter where our Professor A. Venu Vinod is the editor, and wonderful achievements of alumni is put in that. And that I think each of the current students should also go through it, because the PDF copy, I think we can share it. That will improve our outreach. You know that when you join an organization, the first thing you should know is who are the people from your institution. So that will improve your bonding, that will improve your standing and bonding in the institute and in the organization, definitely. So we are all aware that good alumni relations benefits every one of us. The institutes, it benefits you and everybody. So I would like to thank the Alumni Association because they have done so much contribution. If you just to recall, when the pandemic came, there were many students who are not so well placed financially. So I just wrote a letter to the Alumni Association requesting them, if you can give your old laptops, we'll repair and give it to needy students, really. And you will not believe, the Alumni Association came with a proposal, sir, we will give them new laptops, and they have donated 300 laptops. So I'm telling you how the alumni, they are so well placed and they want to contribute more. Tomorrow you go out, you want to give back. and it is helping the current students. Not only that, I'll tell you another example. You might be seeing that there are 2 new battery-operated vehicles which have been donated by the alumni, Mr. Venu of AB Hitachi, and they are the most latest electric vehicle, battery-operated, and we have charging stations in the institution, and that is wholly meant for the benefit of students, especially the physically handicapped and women students, especially in the night, when your safety is an important issue. So all this, and then very recently, one of the batches of alumni have contributed a life-saving ambulance. So you might have seen that ambulance. It is costing about 16 lakhs or 20 lakhs, I don't know. But that ambulance has got all the advanced life support system. So the alumni are coming out. Not only that, I told you the endowment fund, 150 lakhs contributed less than 6 months. So like that, the alumni want to get involved in the improvement of the institution. So I would like to conclude my address since I have to go. So I will just quickly summarize how alumni are contributing and how we request them to continue to contribute. And you also, when you go out of the institution, should look back to the institution to give what you can do. So providing financial support is just one way of how the alumni is getting engaged with the institution. You can actually donate your books, which you are not using it, to the needy students, because sometimes you find the books you can't carry anywhere. So you can donate back to the library, and we will give to the students who want to refer. Of course, it will be in the library continuously. They can refer to it. And you can help in sponsoring research, give new interesting student projects and careers, because once you go to the field, you know that there are some issues that need to be solved. So you can throw those problems back to the institutions, so the current students will try to solve these problems which are coming in the industry. You can also participate in peer-to-peer fundraising. You can broker introductions with your current organization to the institution so that we can enter into MOU for the benefit of our current students. So my interest is, I want to engage alumni so that our current students get the maximum benefit. In fact, our alumni can provide career advice to the current students. Okay, that is very, very important. So, and they can share their talents to enhance their cultural. Many of our alumni are very good in cultural aspects also. So we want to have a holistic development of our students, and that is where I strongly believe that this is an important thing. So I would like to end my address since I have another meeting. So I have to go. I am very sorry that I am not able to interact with the notable, but anyway, I am happy that it is getting recorded so that I can have a copy of it later. So I would like to thank and appreciate Sri T. Krishna Prasad, IPS, our distinguished alumni who got recently the Distinguished Alumni Award. He has been the DG of the Railway Safety. So many important positions he has held and successfully has held. Definitely, I think we will all learn many things from him. So, before I conclude, I wish to underscore that the impact of Alumni Association in the development of institutes cannot be underestimated. They have a very important role to play. So, I am thankful once again to Srinivas Chandagiri for organizing this wonderful meeting and Professor Ravi Kumar Puli for getting the current students to attend this meeting. So, thank you very much and thank you all for coming.
We always try to remain our Warangal chapter up to your expectations, sir. Once again, on behalf of our Warangal chapter, thanking and please accept a small felicitation, sir. I request our senior members, Warangal chapter, Satyanarayana Garu, please come on to the dais and join for the felicitation.
So thank you very much. Please, the meeting will continue. I'm taking 2 calendars because afterwards he'll say pay 100 rupees. So thank you.
His dedication to society. Now, let me ask Sri T. Krishna Prasad Garu to speak.
I invite upon the stage, call upon the stage, Professor M. Pandurangarao Garu, former professor of NIT Varangal, who is presently co-founder of Kakatiya Heritage Trust as well as Intact Varangal. Please come on to the dais, sir. Please accompany our senior members to Professor Pandurangarao Garu. The Ramappa, which placed in a UNESCO heritage site, it is because of our Professor Pandurangarao Garu. His tireless efforts since 1987, he was trying to on that Ramappa and Kakatiya heritage. Finally, in 2021, that has been included in World Heritage Site. So, thank you, sir. Please, please.
Good evening to you all. Yeah, normally I don't start the meeting until I get my greetings back. Good evening to you all. Thank you so much. And of course, we just had the pleasure of having Director N.V. Ramanarao Garu here. And thank you very much, Chandragiri Srinivas Garu and Venu Vinod and Srinath, members of the President, Secretary, Treasurer of the Nitwa Varangal chapter for thinking of me, of inviting as the first speaker of the Nitwa distinguished alumnus row of speakers. I think this program, even if you conduct once in a month, will go on for 10 years or more, because so many distinguished alumni are there from Nitwa. And respected Registrar Govardhan Rao Garu, Professor Puliraj Garu, Madam Sumati Garu, Professor Y.N. Reddy Garu, and respected Pandurangarao Garu, Professor Pandurangarao Garu, faculty members sitting in the audience, lecturers, dear students. It gives me a great pleasure to stand in front of you today, this evening. Don't see me as DGP or something, just see me as a fellow student, because I passed out from this place. And your faculty and some of you are not aware that I sneak into the campus whenever I feel like. 2 weeks back I came, and of course I was staying in the Kalam house, and after my dinner at 9:30, 10, I was moving in the campus trying to see where is my room. 6 to 7, that's my first room. 3 to 14 is my second room. Do you understand what 6 to 7 means? I don't think. 6th block, 2nd floor, 7th room. Okay, so that is the butterfly-shaped buildings, the old buildings. That's where we used to stay. So when I came in the first year, we were asked. 4 of us were asked to stay in one room. So 4 guys were in one room. That is on the 6 to 7. So when you go to the second year, then you have the privilege that one of the guys go out. You are sharing only with 2 others. So that was in 3 to 14. And I should confess one thing here. When I was in 3 to 14, the cooperative stores was in the ground floor or the cellar of the 3 to 14. The cooperative stores, that is where the drawing sheets, the pins and the HB pencils, the rubbers, etc. were sold, among other things. So that is the only time when we used to get to see our honorable, colorful batchmates. So honestly, we were 1,500 students on the campus, and only 15 of them were adorable. So we were all waiting for that. I think Tuesday was our drawing session. The drawing class was every Tuesday. So that is when everybody used to come and buy pencils or the drawing sheet, etc. So that's on the lighter side. So when I walked in last 2 weeks back and tried to see where our mess is, I was in the second mess, which is a non-vegetarian North Indian mess. That is also closed. All the blocks are closed. All are in ruins. Somebody is talking about Borra caves or some other caves which are ruins. Now I feel our own hostels or the mess where we stayed are also in ruins. Well, it's nice to travel down the memory lane, and it gives a lot of memories. Many of them are very good, and very few are very sad, because my roommate was unfortunately murdered on the campus. With a lot of respect and reverence, I recall the memories of my roommate, Binod Kumar Jha, who was killed on the campus. And he was killed in the mess, second mess. So student politics can be very dirty, very dangerous. It can go to any extent, positive or negative. So let us talk about the positive things. Am I audible? Is the mic, am I standing close to the mic? No, actually I think if I'm standing too close to the mic, you can't hear. Now is it okay? Right. So let me take down the memory lane, how I started from REC Warangal. Before coming to REC Warangal, I was in Hyderabad. Did my schooling in a school called Little Flower High School, then Junior College Uppal, the Little Flower Junior College Uppal. At that time, the admission into NIT Warangal was based on the merit or the percentage of marks you get in the intermediate or now plus 2. It was not based on any entrance examination. There was no competitive examination. So there was a competitive examination at that time for IITs, but for REC, there was no competitive examination. It was purely based on the rank you get in your board. So then the rank, and then you were given a roll number. The roll number will be also in the form of, depending upon which branch you take. If you are taking electrical or electronics, it will be 101, 102, etc. So we all joined in 1978, so 78, 101, 102, etc. And I was, so that is how the roll numbers were given. So much for the campus life, what we had at that time. This reminds me when Professor N.V. Ramanarao was talking here, there was a pin drop silence in the entire hall. And when he was talking, then a gentleman carried refreshments and walked into the hall. Then suddenly the murmuring started. My dear students, I will start with 3-4 quick things that that will decide the future for anybody. Please don't think it is a lecture, but because it is 35 years of experience I had in the bureaucracy and IPS and other things, I'll tell you where all I traveled. But first and the foremost thing is, if you want to be successful in life, the first and foremost thing is, do we have the K, S and A? KSA. Now, KSA is knowledge, skill, and attitude. So, knowledge, skill, and attitude as a combination is what defines where you go, how you go, and how you perform. Many of us think that, having knowledge is enough. But let me tell you, knowledge alone is not enough. Since you're all in an engineering college, I will use the necessary and sufficient conditions here. Knowledge from the textbooks, knowledge from the classroom, knowledge from the lecturer, knowledge from the library, knowledge from your internet, all is fine. It is a necessary condition, but it is not sufficient condition. You should have knowledge. Just think of for a minute, your 10 classes in the school plus 2, each class probably on an average you study 10 books. So 12 into 10, 120 books into 200 pages of textbook. I'm poor in math. Can anybody help me? How many pages is that? You have studied all that. Then you have gone through 4 years of engineering, another equivalent amount of knowledge you have gathered. Now, all this knowledge put together, believe me, is not adequate. It is necessary. It will not take you to where you want to go. If you are an engineer, a civil engineer, you have studied everything in your strength of materials, and if one of the professors is not really happy with you, he can fail you in strength of materials, SM1 or SM2. Do you have SM3? I don't know. So mech guys must be going through the thermodynamics, etc. So if you must have excelled you must have got A grade. You must have got high marks. You must have got distinction. But you can't build a building. You can't really draw a structure. As a structural engineer, you're not able to put up a nice structural drawing or to build a structure. So what use is your A grade in NIT Warangal or IIT Delhi? It is of no use. So knowledge alone is of no use. Skill along with knowledge is important. What good is an MBBS doctor who has got the gold medal in the medical college, but he cannot perform an operation? Every time he forgets to leave his scissors inside. So there is no skill. Instead of cutting the heart, he's cutting the lungs. Right? So what good is a doctor with so much of knowledge but has no skill? So the doctor can, for his rest of his life, until his poti is born, keep on telling, मेरे को तो A grade आ गया है, तो फायदा क्या है? So knowledge and skill both are necessary but not adequate. What is necessary here to complete the loop is the attitude. What is attitude? Attitude towards work. What is your work ethic? What is your work style? What is your attitude towards your team? What is your attitude towards your organization you are working for? What is the attitude towards the nation? Are you willing to work for the nation, or you are willing to work only for yourself? It is very essential and necessary for you to work for yourself. Yes. It is very important for you to work for your family. Agreed. What is yours at the end of your 30 years or 40 years of service? What do you tell your grandchildren that what have you done for your country? What is your attitude towards the society? What is your attitudes toward your country? That may not look important at all at this stage. Believe me, I am talking to you after 35 years of service in the government. Wherever you are, whether you are in the private sector or public sector or NGO sector, wherever you are, what really matters is what is your contribution to the nation? What is your contribution to humanity? What is your contribution to the society? This alone will keep you satisfied towards the end. You earn millions of dollars. You travel in business class. You stay in 5-star hotels. You go on for vacation with your family every year. But when a day comes after 30, 40 years, when you want to think and tell yourself, what is that I have done for the society? And the answer is nothing. How sad. So this is my opening philosophy statement, that attitude towards the service to your organization, attitude towards service to the society, attitude towards the service to your nation is the most underlying principle. It should always be at the back of your mind, wherever you are. You may not achieve everything today. You may not achieve everything in the 5 years or 10 years or 15 years. Simply don't worry. All you have to do is keep it in mind that I need to contribute, to pay back to society. The society has given something, so much to me. All the students of NITs, IITs, IIMs in this country, I have gone through the 2 premier institutes in this country, NIT Warangal and IIM Ahmedabad. Both these educations of mine were paid by the taxpayer of this country. I am thinking that I got it, I earned it. Because of my brilliance and intelligence, I got admission and I studied. No, my education is 95% subsidized. Your education is also 90% subsidized. Please understand this. If you do not know, please learn it today. It is subsidized education. So who has subsidized it? Who is paying for your education? It is the country. This is what we need to capture in mind. And some of you probably will go for competitive examinations like UPSC. When it comes to UPSC, I have a lot of IITians who come and join the service and meet us. We have a concept or a policy where the people who join the service, IAS and IPS, they come and meet the seniors, what we call as calling on. That's the word they use, calling on. They come and call on you. So when they come and call on you, the general interaction is basically where are you from, etc., which state of India are you from, and where did you study? And typically many of them, or 80% of them, are engineers. The guys who clear UPSC examination, 80% of them are engineers. And nearly 90% of the guys who clear preliminary examination, or the prelims as they call, are engineers. Why so? Why is that? Can anybody take a guess? Would you like to take a credit? No, we are intelligent, we are great guys. There's a very interesting thing when it comes to the preliminary examination or the prelims, which is a multiple choice examination. The theory of probability works very well. Because no answer is very straight. You have to think, you have to work on probabilities. You have to zero on to the answer using the probability theory or the probability concept. I will not use the word theory. So typically the engineers who are used to think in terms of probabilities tend to get more score in prelims and UPSC. But when it comes to the main examination, they don't score so high unless they prepare well. And luckily now in UPSC, the optionals, earlier we wrote 2 optionals, those 2 optionals are not there. There's only 1 optional. So out of 9 papers, 8 papers in the general studies, only 1 paper is in the optional. So again, that is loaded more in favor of engineers. So prelims is loaded in favor of engineers, mains is loaded in favor of engineers, but interviews are not typically loaded in favor of engineers. Why? Any guess? In interview, you require soft skills, presentation skills. You have to talk now. Engineers are very good in writing. I got 200 out of 200 in mathematics in my 12th examination. When you want me to talk, I can't talk. I want to face a board of 6 people who are all IAS, IPS officers, generals of the country. So the soft skills is something which is missing in most of the engineers, because we all come from very modest background and we belong to the conceptual world. We are fantastic in concepts. We are not so good in presentations. So we need to learn that soft skills in the campus. I wish somebody in the campus takes an initiative, put up special classes for the soft skills. If somebody thinks he's not good in soft skills, let him get an opportunity, he or she get an opportunity of picking up the soft skills, where certain written skills as well as spoken skills are practiced. So this is my request to NIT Warangal management. Please arrange for classes or interaction or group discussions for soft skills. So that will help a lot when you go to the interviews, not only for UPSC, for any other competitive examinations. And as you know, competitive examination is all about competition and not leaving any stone unturned. It can be UPSC or any other competitive examination. So we need to think out of the box when you go for the competitive examinations. And finally, what is the life in USA? So I talked about UPSC, I talked about the competitive examination, and what is life in USA. Many of us would like to go to USA. I myself, after my, incidentally, our batch was the last 5-year batch. So we spent 1 year more in this campus than any one of you would finally land up doing. But then, of course, many people have done post-graduation and then joined the faculty, and forever they are here. So when you do your 4-year course and then want to go to USA, what kind of life you are anticipating? What kind of area you want to take up? That's very important. So after my mechanical engineering here, I applied for several universities. I was interested in the solid rocket fuel research. So I got a scholarship in the Texas University, Austin. But then at that time, you have to arrange for your own flight charges and then go. The flight charges are not covered under the scholarship. So at that time, I had no money to arrange for my own flight ticket, so I could not go. And then my father said, okay, I will take loan for you. But today, it is very, very common for any student or parent or family to take a loan for education. But in 1976, 78, and 83, the year when I passed out of NIT Warangal, it was not common for people to take loan. It is to be taken as an insult to take loan from outside. So I said, no, I told my dad, no, please don't take any loan for me. Though there was silence in the family for 3-4 days. Then I got a letter from XLRI Jamshedpur that I'm admitted in XLRI Jamshedpur. So I was looking at that letter, whether to go to Jamshedpur, where is Jamshedpur, how far is it, how many trains I should change to reach Jamshedpur. While we were calculating all that, then I got an admit letter from IIM Calcutta. So at least we heard about Calcutta, and then we started talking to people how to reach Calcutta. Again, those days it is just not thinkable of going in a flight. You have to only think in terms of how many trains you have to reach. Then while we were thinking our Calcutta is too far away, how to manage, what language is spoken there, and many of your mothers must have probably thought before sending you to Warangal, what is served there for dinner or lunch. You are going to South India, maybe you have to eat sambar. So no, those kind of things were dominating our mind when we talked about Kolkata. Mustard oil, make maach banate hain. ठीक है? So then, after 3 days, I got a letter from IIM Bangalore saying that you join within 1 week, etc., etc. Then everybody was happy. Okay, Bangalore is in South India, so you can go to South India. But then I went to get my clothes stitched, because when you go to a campus, you should look nice. So I bought one cloth for my shirt and one for my trouser. Went with a friend on a motorbike, went to the tailor, gave it for stitching. We're coming back, we met with an accident. My leg was broken and my leg was in plaster. Now how do I go to Bangalore? So then new discussions started. All the neighborhood uncles came. Arey, aisa toota hua pair se kaise jaoge? Somebody said crutches mein jana, somebody said wheelchair mein jana, all kind of discussions were taking place. Then I got a letter from IIM Ahmedabad that you are admitted in IIM Ahmedabad, please come. Now the problems have increased. To go to Ahmedabad, you have to change 3 trains. The Sabarmati Express was the last one. So finally I somehow managed. I went alone, took the wheelchair, and the problem was in Bombay, if you want to change the train from VT, you have to go to Dadar. So I got on at VT, then somehow managed me and my wheelchair into an auto with my suitcases, because you're going for 2 years. Then went to Dadar, took the train to Sabarmati and somehow managed. Now when I went to IIM Ahmedabad, there's a very interesting thing that happened. Professor I.G. Patel was a director. I.G. Patel is a professor who was later on RBI, after RBI governor, he came to IIM Ahmedabad. So if you notice, the 1 rupee currency note that you have, actually have the RBI director's signature. So in those days, I.G. Patel's signature used to be there in the 1 rupee note. So he was the director for the IIM Ahmedabad. So he came to me and said, look, my dear, you are moving in crutches in the campus. I see you every day. And here we do only case studies. We don't teach anything in the classroom. For the case studies, you'll have to go to the library and prepare your notes and prepare the answers for the case studies and come for discussion for the next day class. And that stupid library was 2-storied up and there was no lift. So how do I go with my crutches to 2-storied? So people saw the difficulty that this youngster is going through, and probably there was a discussion, and the director himself came to my room and he said, look, you can't do this because we have gradation system. You are given A, B, C, D grades, and out of 21 subjects in the first year and 21 subjects in the second year, leave the second year, out of the 3 terms, 7 plus 7 plus 7 subjects, if you manage to get 4 Ds out of 21 without giving you any letter, your room is locked. Your roll number is removed. Your course material is removed. In your classroom, your seat is removed. This is the culture and policy of IIM Ahmedabad. So he said, my son, I don't think you can continue here by not managing to get the 4th D. So what I suggest is you go home. Come back next year, I'll keep your seat. So I told him, sir, I'm very poor. I can't go back home. With great difficulty, I reached Ahmedabad. It is okay if I get the 4th D, you send me back. And I will write the CAT exam again, and I'm confident I'll pass again. He said, are you sure? CAT exam is not simple. No, sir, I will somehow, I'm confident I'll pass again. So he said, let us see. Then the term exams were going on, weekly exams, assignments, surprise tests, all these things happened there. So in the first term results came, out of 7 subjects, I got, guess how many Ds? I got 3 Ds, respectfully. Then again he came, look, I told you, you can't manage. You already got 3 Ds. Now out of the remaining 14 papers, if you get 1 single D or 1 single F, you're out. Think again. I said, no, I have come this far. I will not go home. Let me face. So, ठीक है, I did exactly what you guys do. Worked a little bit hard and managed not to get a D. So I passed the first year, I went to the second year. So, what does it teach you? What it teaches you is, when I said I got admission into XLRI, I am Kolkata, I am Bangalore, I am Ahmedabad, I was looking very happy, right? I was looking very proud. I got admission into so many places. So your curve was going up. It went to the pinnacle. When you got 3 Ds, your curve went down. So life is a combination of sinusoidal curves. And if some people, if you're not happy with sine theta, you go to cos theta. That is also a curve. So we need to accept that. In life, life is, for majority of us, there are some people who are very, very lucky and good. Their curve is flat. Or it is linear going up. It can be 15 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees. Don't think of 90 degrees. So, when life is such, how do I prepare myself? So this is where your stamina comes. As an athlete, you know your physical stamina. As a human being, as an intellectual, what is your mental stamina? That is what you need to think. Am I endowed with mental stamina? Am I building my mental stamina? Am I working on my mental stamina or not? Your roommate has bugged you. You are irritated. You want to slap him, you can't slap. You want to call him a name, you can't call. Your professor has failed you. So many things happen in life. How do you take it? You are playing a game. Your Beth Noir, the worst guy you know, the person you hate most, he has beaten you left and right. How do you take that? How do you prepare for the next match? That is the essence. How do you prepare for the next match? Not necessarily win every time, but with your eye on the victory, how are you preparing so that your negative points are removed one by one slowly? So that is where you have to prepare yourself. With respect to my life story, after my NIT Warangal, I told you about my IIM Ahmedabad days. I joined an advertising agency after my IIM Ahmedabad, and I was working in Bombay. I was very happy. This time I didn't think of going to USA. And then my father, he's a person of mental stamina. After my 10th class, when I got the board state rank, then he told me, you should write IAS exam. I laughed. IAS, I don't know what it is. I laughed. Then I got 12th class, I got rank, state rank. Again he said, you should write IAS exam. No, don't cheat me. You should write IAS exam. Meaning UPSC exam. I said, okay, Dad, I don't really understand what it is. Okay, I'll write. Then I came to NIT Warangal. NIT Warangal, those days, probably you have just no clue how it was, the campus. This campus was pro-left. Do you understand pro-left? Okay, there were the student politics, there was Radical Students Union and ABVP, and both were fighting on the campus, and that is how one of them got killed. And there was a lot of left-wing extremism in Warangal. And REC Warangal was the intellectual recruiting ground for Naxalites. It was not uncommon to see one of the students in the campus missing every year. Somebody or the other was going underground. And every year we also used to hear, I will not tell the names, I know all the names. Every year we used to hear news that, so-and-so died in an encounter. Somebody from the fourth block, I don't know why it was famous. People used to go missing from fourth block. So we had seen everything in this campus. So when it came to the left versus right thinking, this campus had a very strong left thinking. And then when I joined the service, I went with those thought process that India's intellectual typically is slightly left of the center, not extreme, slightly left of the center. That is, you think about others also, not only about yourself. So as an engineer, I had fantastic experience in service. How I combined engineering skills along with the management theories or management concepts really worked wonders for me. I really enjoyed my life. Hybridizing, I use this word hybridizing. You have to hybridize your thought process. You have to hybridize your knowledge. You have to hybridize your skills. And you have to do a lot of churning with your knowledge, skill, attitude, and hybridization of that. I'll tell you how. When I was SP Visakhapatnam, I had two things to remember. One is, as an engineer, that penchant to do something on construction remained with me. So I constructed a stadium without anybody's help. Me and my constables. So Kailashgiri Stadium in Visakhapatnam is purely an engineering work. There was a hill slope, we had to cut it. Somebody was encroaching on that land, we had to save that land. We have flattened it. Then I went through all your civil engineering books. What is a curb? What is slope? So what is banking? How many degrees of banking you should do? 3 degrees to 15 degrees, whatever. Then we all put up a stadium. We constructed a stadium with all the facilities. So when you are an officer, you have everybody at your control. So you can call a contractor कि boss मेरे को 20 ट्रक का ग्रेवल चाहिए, मेरा 100 मीटर रनिंग ट्रैक को सब कवर करना है. तो he will say सर नहीं होगा, ठीक है, 1-2 लोड तो लेके आओ. So you, because you're not doing for yourself, you're doing for somebody, for an asset. You're creating an asset. This is one more thing that you have to think about. Creating an asset for future is very, very important. So that is my first taste of engineering in service. As SP Visakhapatnam, we constructed the Kailashgiri Stadium. Then I went to APIIC after serving 4 districts. I went to APIIC. In APIIC, had wonderful opportunities to what I just now called as hybridize. I hybridized everything. When I was given APIIC charge, I was told by none other than the Chief Minister. I'm grateful to the then Chief Minister that he gave me an opportunity. And this is in 1999. Investment or the foreign direct investment was not coming into the state or to India. That was a challenge. So when we went to Microsoft or anybody and asked them, why don't you come and invest in India? So they used to say there is no infrastructure in India. So it was like a chicken and egg story. Investor wants infrastructure, and you can't put infrastructure because you don't know whether the investment will come or not. So which one do you first? So infrastructure also costs you a lot. And our state or our country was not 1999, we were not affording to put big infrastructure. So in that chicken and egg story that I was given a challenge, you should bring both infrastructure and build infrastructure and also bring investment. Please listen to them. I would like to have this stopped for 2-3 minutes. Just hold it because this is a very important concept I want to explain. You can continue after this. I will signal you because after all you are showing my slides, right? Thank you. So then I was given APIIC. This is very important to you also, sir. Andhra Pradesh Industrial Infrastructure Corporation was given to me. I was made in charge. I was told to build infrastructure and also bring investment from foreign. And if you ask me what was the budget given to me, no budget was given to me. So how do I do that? How do I do infrastructure without having budget? So then I went back to the management books. I went back to the engineering books. Then I said, okay, public-private partnership is the only answer. So the first project that APIIC did in public-private partnership was the cyber towers in high-tech city. So basically what it means is when you are doing public-private partnership as the government wing, the public part, you are giving land or any other resource free of cost or as an equity into the special purpose vehicle. When you do that, our country was at that time not ready to accept that you can give land free of cost to a developer or a private sector company. Many officers wanted to beat me up literally, how can you give away land, government land to somebody? So that was the stage when we were working. That was the framework. So we need a paradigm shift. So that paradigm shift was not coming. There was arguments every day. Every day people were shouting at me. They were accusing me. ये अपना सरकार का जमीन मुफ्त में दे रहा है, ये गद्दार है, those kind of things. So what is that we have given under high-tech cities? Only 3 acres of land. Only 3 acres of land. That round building, the 10-story round building came up, L&T constructed. L&T has got a major stake in that building. And then we started promoting. Then we started building more. And if you go to that part of Hyderabad city, you will see straight roads. You don't see curvaceous roads, you see straight roads. So that is a decision I have taken from APIIC that we will put a grid of roads and build a new city. We will enable a new city to come up. So what we have done is with our own money, the corporation money, we have leveraged, created, enabled, facilitated something new to happen, a miracle to happen. So what we did is we put parallel roads, grid roads. If you see Microsoft, it is on one such road. ISB, it is on one such road. Wipro, ICICI, Lombardini, all these places are on these roads, of grid of roads. Then we have built the golf courses, the high-techs. These are all the projects that we have built. So what basically it means is thinking out of the hat, thinking out of the box. PPP projects. PPP projects can be designed in any way. So basically project structuring is the most important secret. I'll use the word secret. Project structuring in such a manner the project actually happens. Don't design a project in such a manner the project fails. No. Project should succeed. For the project to succeed, the person who is putting his skin in the game, who is putting his money, who is putting his stakes, he should get his return. The return on investment has to be there. Don't think you are giving out of your pocket. So the return on investment in a project, all of you are going to do projects sooner or later. All of you are going to participate in projects from this side of the fence or from this side of the fence. Either as a company or a corporate building a project, you must be participating, or as an officer or somebody who is bidding out and you are bidding in, you will be participating in the projects. So project structuring, how do you define a project In such a manner, the project actually happens. In such a manner, the actual developer actually makes money with his IRR and ROI retained nicely, profitably, and decently. So that is what you have to think, and that is what I have done. So how many projects I have done in APIIC? We talked about high-tech city, the financial district, the outer ring road, the DPR for the metro is done during my time, the Shamshabad airport, the Gangavaram port, the Krishnapatnam port. So many projects, the SEZ. So these are the things happened because opportunity has come my way. When opportunity comes your way, you have to grab that opportunity with both the hands. Don't allow it to go away. You should keep it with you. So why these things could happen, why they have not happened later? If you see the story of the state between 1999 and 2005, why is that so many projects have come out? It is like an Aladdin's lamp. Project after project came, 17 projects came. Why suddenly after 2005 and between 2005 and 2000, everything is silent? No new project has come. Everybody was busy only ribbon cutting of the old projects. So this is basically because when opportunity comes, how do you combine your skills and how do you hybridize your various knowledge and skills to make things happen? So PPP is one thing. Please keep in mind, you cannot avoid PPP wherever you are. As an engineer, you will be working on the PPP projects. So then after that APIC, then I came to Warangal as DIG Warangal. So I was occupying a bungalow. I don't know how many of you have seen the collector's bungalow, SP's bungalow and DIG's bungalow. So I was living in this DIG bungalow. So when I was here, again, what they called about the surrender specialist, my concept in policing was I was not fond of encounters. Both in Visakhapatnam and as well as in DIG, my theory was basically you should go after the boys and girls who have been misguided, went into the forest with arms, and then bring them and surrender them, rehabilitate them, and then get them into the mainstream life, which I succeeded in more than 511 cases. So real Naxalites who were in the forest. Instead of encountering them, I brought them and surrendered them. So that is what I remember as. Then I became IG computers and again engineering. So for the first time in the country, we had something called E-Corps. The E-Corps was designed in AP for the first time in the country, where entire police department documents were digitized, and how to issue FIR on the computer was the thing. So we have completed in way back in 2012. Then the e-challan, what you talk about in the traffic police, that also we completed in 2012. E-challan for the first time in the country. We in AP started doing the e-challaning first time in the country. So when we did all these things, Government of India said, look, Mr. Krishna Prasad, you are being very selfish. You southern states, particularly Andhra Pradesh, everything you do for yourself, you don't do for the other states in the country. You should do something for the other state in the country. So how do we now ramp up computerization for the entire country? Huge challenges. So I was called as the chairman of Crime, Criminal Tracking and Networking Systems of India, the CCTNS project for India. Then I sat there for several days, sleepless, and then with a huge committee of 21 officers from different departments, railways, etc. Because thing is very, very difficult. The challenges are, language is a challenge, because in many states, FIR is issued in vernacular language. Investigation is done in vernacular language. So how do you do the language integration? Then several states, internet connectivity is very, very poor. Because what I designed in AP is when you write an FIR, whatever you do in the police station, you think as an SHO you are writing in your computer. But the fact is not that. The way I designed is, whatever you are writing is actually you are writing on the server, the central server, and you cannot erase it, you can't delete it. It is like your cloud. But cloud, of course, you can edit it and do anything you want. But in this, because FIR cannot be changed once it is issued, so we kept in such a way that he doesn't know. He is thinking it is in his cache, but it is not in cache. It is going straight up to the central server. So that is how we worked. So that requires connectivity. And many states in the country does not have so much of connectivity. That was, how do you upload from the cache as and when the connectivity comes? What packets can you upload? So that was another challenge, and we succeeded that. So I thought you will be happy to know, because this is how the actual computerization in the country has taken place. Now finally, I know I have taken a lot of time. So I retired as the chairman of Road Safety Authority. This is very important for the engineering students, because there is something which I left here in 1 year back, and it has not happened. Is while in the road safety typically, without telling too much, because I was already given an indication by the presiding officers, like this. 5 more minutes. Yes. So in the road safety, what happens is, one of the verticals you have, the first vertical is engineering. That is road engineering. That's where you come. Then there is a transport engineering. That's where you come from. So what happens is, in the road safety, this thing is, I have authored the National Road Safety Plan for the country. It has gone to the Ministry of Home Affairs and Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Last year I came and gave a draft MOU between my foundation and NIT Warangal, so that we can work together, so that the students of the civil engineering and the transportation engineering can benefit. I'm still waiting for the MOU to be signed and given to me. It's almost 1 year back. So I thought, if N.V. Ramnagaru had he been here, I thought I will make a request to him. So that is basically, it will help the students. Now today I am the short-term consultant for the World Bank on road safety. I am also advisor to the states of Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh on road safety. Just to put it in the perspective, what is happening in the road safety is, now the World Bank and the ADB together have put a hive or a kitty or a money of 15,000 crores of rupees only for India. My request to NIT Warangal is to immediately get into this space of road safety, because there is so much of money. There's so much of research that is possible, and if we do so much of research, the student community will benefit. This is my research, this is my request, which I made 1 year back, and I'm still waiting for the MOU to come back to me. Then Bangladesh recently got $400 million World Bank fund grant for road safety. Why I am saying all these figures is, I am trying to tell you where opportunities are available for research and for employment. So road safety is one big area. And finally, when it comes to my post-retirement work, now you can play the slides, my dear friend. WhatsApp you can see later. You can continue with that. Okay. So my final, I will give respect to the gesturing given to me 5 minutes. I'm closing in 3 minutes. So after my retirement, I started a foundation, because I want to pay back to the society. It's called KP Foundation. KP Foundation I started in a very small way in a village called Erravalli near Vikarabad. In this village, there is a small school which teaches only up to 5th class. After 5th class, the students will have to go 4 kilometers away to continue their education from 6th class onwards. But since it is 4 kilometers away, the parents were not sending the girls. So girls were used to get dropped out and stay in the village. So there was not a single girl who has gone out of the village excepting for the reasons of marriage. So when they get married, they have to go to their in-laws' house. That is the only time when they were going to out of the village. No girl went out of the village for higher education. Higher education is a very big word, at least for matriculation. No girl went out of the village for employment or self-employment. So then what I did is I started giving cycle every year to every girl who completed 5th class and is interested in go for matriculation, go to the next village. So like that, year after year, so far I have given 56 cycles to the girl children in that village. So giving a cycle to a child looks very simple. I gave books, I gave library, did the flooring, did the chat, repaired the ceiling, put blackboards, gave a computer, everything. They all look simple, small things. But my appeal to you here is see the impact. The impact is, out of these 56 girls, one girl, Fatima, today is, like you, she is doing engineering. She is doing engineering. She is doing BTech. One girl, 2 girls are doing B Pharmacy, and 3 girls are doing B.Ed, Bachelor of Education. So this is the impact that we can create with simple actions. I have given only cycles. So the impact that can happen in a village is so huge. So with that thought process, I have expanded, I got encouraged with this experiment. I have expanded to other districts after my retirement. Now I am working in Gadchiroli district, Asifabad district, Bhupalpalli district, Warangal, Mulug, Khammam, Paderu, Parvatipuram and Raichur districts. I am working in 100 villages in these districts. So you will find KP Foundation, people working, typically graduates from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, etc. We take and we give them opportunities to work. They have to go to the village and work. Now, final thing is the MOU with KP Foundation and NIT Warangal, which I left. The earlier one I talked about road safety. Now, lot of students, I request and I appeal to all the students. Please do something which is also relevant to the villages. You do whatever you like, your passion is your passion, you do it. But whenever you do something on application part of it, which is relevant to the village or the village development, please approach KP Foundation. We will take you to these one of the 100 villages wherever you want to go, and we can work with the villagers there and contribute. So when it comes to your projects, your practicals, you want to run a vehicle, whether it is an electric vehicle or bullock cart or whatever it is, improvised, engineered, pre-engineered, re-engineered, whatever you do. When you want to do something, or sowing techniques, harvesting techniques, whatever you want to work on, chemicals, fertilizers, whatever you want to work on in the rural sector, we will give you that opportunity. We will give you the field experience. We will throw open the entire village where we are working along with the volunteers. So wonderful. I had a lot of wonderful opportunity that you have given to me, Srinivas Garu and NIT Warangal, and the students. In spite of this being a weekend, they all sat down to listen to what I am saying. Some of it was, I know it was boring, but thank you very much for listening to me. And
it was very exciting isn't it? So let us make
Hello.
more exciting by asking some questions. We will make our live interaction session. And I have another exciting news for you. We will play Tambola. So in Tambola we call Jaldi 5. Those who ask Jaldi 5 questions, those will have a photograph presenting our network calendar for those 5 candidates. So let us start. First question. First tell your name and where is Prabhat? Hello, are you there? Just carry this mic. Mic is there. Okay. We have a lot of excitement. We have another prayer dance also.
Good evening, sir.
Just show that slide also. Prayer. Okay,
Good
carry on.
evening, sir. My name is Shravan. Why are you called as surrender
No,
specialist?
name.
My name is Shravan.
Sharavan.
Yes, sir. Shravan.
Shravan and your batch and branch.
I am from Civil Engineering Department, BTech first year.
Okay.
Why are you called as surrender specialist?
Surrender specialist.
Yeah, this is in the context of the Naxalite activity and counter-Naxalism measures. So typically what we believe is when you arrest people or when you encounter somebody, that is taken as a gallantry and you are given awards, you are decorated and all that. So typically it is very So that is the normal function, arresting, encounter and all that. But what happens is, very good question. What happens is, the experience has been that whenever somebody is encountered from a village or from an ecosystem, there is a lot of discussion, what happened, how happened, and should it happen, should it not happen. And a lot of other youth in that village do not agree with that, what has happened. They get upset. And many of them again go underground. So that is the weak time when the recruiters of the enemy, the recruiters of the People's War Group, of the Maoists, come to the village, tell the youth, look, this is what has happened to your friend, how can you keep quiet? So they increase the recruitment and 10 more boys will join the organization. So we lose 10 more youth. We are losing those 10 more youth. They are being misguided. So I'm against that encounter because it's not doing good. It is actually, I'm losing my gallantry award. I don't get an award. It's okay. But what I did is, instead of encountering that person, I surrendered that person, which has no gallantry award. To surrender a person, you have to work many more times. Where is he? How is he? Who is in contact with him? Where are his parents? How do you contact the parents? Will they believe you when you say, you bring your son, I will take care of him? They will not believe you. So this is the story I'm talking about, 2004 and before. So I went on doing this huge exercise of contacting them, giving them confidence, and then bringing them back to the mainstream by surrendering them. So when I started doing more and more surrenders, then people started calling me, instead of encounter specialist, you must have seen some movies where encounter specialist, up tak cheppan, whatever. So instead of encounter specialist, I was called a surrender specialist. That's the thing.
Okay. Hope you got your answer. Come, please accept a calendar from sir. Okay, next question, please.
Good evening, sir.
No, okay, okay. Sai. Here. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
No,
I'm
sir,
Pratyush.
it is okay. Here also.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I'm Pratyush from Metallurgy. I just want to ask you that you said in your speech that when you left this college, you were from center-left mindset. Where do you stand now?
Please come in the last word.
You said that when you left this college, you were in the center-left mindset.
Left means
So where do you
go
stand now?
left, then center or right.
So it is actually left of the center. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So those days the campus had, as I told you, two sets of people. But generally left of the center was the mode or median, whatever. Okay. And typically in most of the educational institutions those days, left of the center is both the thought process, and for many people left of the center is a style. It's fanciful to say I'm left of the center. That is also what was happening. Now, we should not take left of the center as a derogatory statement. It is a thought process. So, when you are thinking about society, there are grades and dimensions and scale. What is the scale of you thinking in terms of society, and what is the methodology you are adopting to do it? If the methodology is violent, anti-societal, if the methodology is extra legal, out of the legal system, then you are called extremist. If you are within the framework of the country, within the framework of the constitution, within the framework of the law, but you are thinking a little bit more of people, it is 5 degrees instead of 360, 180 degrees, 5 degrees, 10 degrees left of the center. I am pretty much 5 degrees left of the center, even today. That is why I started my foundation.
Please come. This program is going on live YouTube. So 3 more guys are welcome to ask questions. And from alumni members also, faculty also welcome to ask. Even from Dayas also. Next somewhere, yeah.
Very good evening, sir. Myself, Devesh Gupta, MCA, first year. My question is, what are the things or incident that motivates you to write a UPSC exam as being an engineering and management student?
Yeah, good question. Actually, I was not motivated. As I was telling you, it was my dad. My dad was always after me, will you write the exam or not? So the final, I think I didn't mention this,
Yes,
but good you asked me this question. So finally, when after my MBA and I was working in ad agencies, advertising agencies, again my father, as I told you, he had terrible mental stamina. Again he asked me, what about IAS exam? Then I said, Dad, I did my MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. I'm so happy. I'm working in ad agencies. I'm earning so much of money. He said, no, it's okay. But write the exam. Show that you will pass. He challenged me.
Yes, sir.
It's a big challenge. He said, can you pass this exam? Then both of us had a gentleman agreement. I said, Dad, I will write the exam. But if I succeed and if I pass, please don't insist that I should join the service. Because he said, why? Exactly the same reason. REC Warangal taught me something else. I was not so much in favor of government. So he said, I told Dad, don't insist me that I should join service. He said, okay, don't join the service. But show to me and to my friends that you will pass the exam.
So I said, okay, I'll write the exam. So I studied for the prelims. Those days, academies and all these things were not there. I quickly prepared something. I had about 10 days time. So I wrote the prelims examination. I was hoping that I will fail. But it so happened that I passed. Then the result came, I have to go for the main examination. So when I have to go to the main examination, then I thought it has now become very serious. I can't work in the morning as well as study in the night. So I resigned from my job, then started studying. I took, basically to challenge myself, I took sociology and psychology as my optionals, which is not mechanical engineering, not MBA. With sociology and psychology, I started preparing. I had 2 months' time for the mains. I wrote the exam. Again, I was hoping that I should fail, but it so happened that I passed. Then I got the interview call. I should confess that I was very, very lucky in the interview. So when I was going to the interview, I was so scared. I was so nervous because what is that they can ask? They can ask me about Hyderabad because I'm from Hyderabad. They can ask me about REC Warangal. At that time, REC Warangal was very, very famous from the left wing activities. And they can ask me from anything from mechanical engineering, 5 years course, anything from MBA. So how do I prepare? Anything from sociology. Your sociology syllabus was post-graduation. Anything from psychology, syllabus was post-graduation. How do I prepare for interview? There was no time. So I said, best thing to do is not to prepare. So I was reading only Hindu paper and then I went to the interview. I was so lucky. I was so lucky. When I went to the interview, there were some common questions were asked about the current studies. Then in the application form, you write hobbies. In the hobbies, it is written, my application form, there is a mention about bird watching. I should tell you one interesting thing. When we were in the campus in REC Warangal at that time, we started Blue Jay Nature Club. I don't know if it is still functioning. With this Blue Jay Nature Club, we were so stupid at that time. We went to Etur Nagaram, we went to Tadwai, we went to Adilabad doing bird watching. We went to Annamalai, we went to Nilgiris. Then without knowing, we went to Himalayas. Somebody said when you go to Himalayas, you should cover yourself properly, right? So our definition or understanding from REC Warangal, your own college, of covering yourself is having a nice canvas shoe, denim jeans, and wind cheater with a zip on. So with that, we went to Kullu Manali. So people caught us and bet us literally, you can't roam around like this, you'll catch cold. They gave us all woolen clothes. So this Blue Jay Nature Club from REC Warangal, we were doing all these activities, and typically to prevent ourselves from starving when we are going for the camp, we used to borrow from Lingaya, the mess worker, tomato sauce, butter and sugar, salt and pepper, pack in our backpack so that for 3 days we can survive on that bread. So this is all we did. Now coming back to your UPSC interview. So I wrote bird watching, and our specialization or my specialization was migration of birds from one continent to another continent. And we did good job. We studied even American magazines, and those days no internet. So I think I was good at that subject. So now in the interview board, what happened is one of the board members jocularly, he wanted to pull my leg, and he said, my dear friend, you mentioned bird watching in your application. What type of birds? I didn't know. I said, sir, the birds up there only. Then the other member caught up. What do you understand about birds? Tell me a few birds. So by that time in the pocket book, I always carry a pocket book. There was a logbook of birds. So the logbook of birds in this campus, our batch, the Blue Jay Nature Club, we have identified 360 species of birds in the country. So I said, I mentioned some birds. So he was also impressed. The next person, he was slightly having knowledge on birds. He said, what do you know about bird migration? Correct. I told myself, mil gaya re, bakra mil gaya. So I started telling about bird migration. The interview went on for 45 minutes, only on bird migration. And they were all stunned. How do you know so much about bird migration? You are a mad fellow. You are talking about latitude, longitude in those days. You are talking about wind direction. You are talking about wind in kilometers per second, kilometers per hour. You are talking about ambient temperature. When will the bird take off from which place to which place? How will it take a direction? Which direction will take back to come back home? How many places it halt? Where it will lay eggs? Where it will do the rearing or breeding? How do you know all these things? Sir, I studied from various magazines. So I was very lucky that time. So they gave me good marks.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. I am Tejas Singre, BTech final year Chemical Engineering Department. My question is important in society. How we can stop corruption in India?
Next question from this side also we need, especially girl students. Be ready. Okay.
How do you stop corruption in India?
Okay.
I wish God knows answer to this. There are two things I strongly believe. Corruption happens because of your willingness as a citizen to pay extra money. There are officers and people who demand bribe, but there are 10x or 100x people, you understand, 10x or 100x people who are willing to give. So when this amount of people are willing to give, why not this amount of people accept it? So they say, fine, I will accept and do it because you are willing to give. So the knife cuts both sides. They cannot be excused. They have to be prosecuted and punished. But as a culture, we should all build that culture. That key, why should I pay? I should not pay. It is a service that you are supposed to do on your own. The moment I am paying you something, how are you bending your rules, denying somebody and giving it to me? So when you are accepting that, deny him and give it to me. This is very important. When you are accepting an ethos that deny a deserving person but give it to me because I am giving you money, which is a crime. Both are committing the crime. I think we should be conscious about that. I'm not saying we should bring a change overnight. We should be conscious about these things.
Thank you, sir. Next question from this side, from girl student. Okay.
Good evening, sir. I am Saiti from EC department. Sir, what is your opinion on REC Warangal College? What is your opinion on REC Warangal College, sir?
REC or NIT?
You mean our college?
NIT, sir.
Right. I missed a lot of things of late, but let me tell you, during our times of 1978 and 83, civil engineering of REC Warangal was #1 in the country. We were in mechanical engineering, I was in mechanical engineering, and we were always looking towards IIT Madras. So they were definitely the best guys in mechanical engineering those days. And when it comes to IT and electronics, it was IIT Bombay and Kanpur. Now, if you say, what do you think about NIT Warangal today? I think that NIT Warangal is no less than IITs. Look what you have done. You have converted your campus into a concrete jungle. You built so many buildings. We had pleasant areas, lot of green areas, open areas, and our director was always cribbing about not having money to build infrastructure. Today you have everything. You have good faculty. But what I request you, if you want to be known as a reputed institute, is how many PhDs you have done. How many doctorates did NIT Warangal produce? So think about this very seriously. You have to do more and more doctorates as an institute. I'm not saying this part of the students, but as an institute, you have to produce more papers, international papers, doctorates. Otherwise, you will lose in the competition, you will lose in the race. And how many of your professors are having international accreditation as far as doctorate is concerned? That is how you are measured in the international arena. But my feeling is, as far as NIT Warangal is concerned, it is no less than an IIT.
Thank you, sir. I hope we had a nice talk and interaction section. Finally, a question from me, sir. No, sir. Please. One structure in the Hyderabad changed the entire scenario of Hyderabad. Nowadays, recently I have seen the message in WhatsApp quoting that cyber tower. This one structure has created extra Hyderabad, like Hyderabad old and Hyderabad new, high-tech city type. So, our Warangal is also very prominent place in our Telangana now. It is a second grade city, and we have studied your prestigious engineering from this prestigious college. Moreover, we worked in a Warangal region, that is old zone of Warangal, means comprising North Telangana district, Adilabad, Karimnagar, Khammam and Warangal. And it was a headquarter for North Telangana, and we served as a DIG also. So, is there any idea in your mind to change our Warangal city in the map of international map? So, will you, means if you have an idea, is there any scope of that type of? Recently, our Professor Panduranga Rao Garu has put our Warangal Ramappa in the international map. So, likewise, in our Warangal also, we have every election, our leaders are this promised for coach factory like that, or some industry or whatever it may be. Warangal is good for education, but industry, it is very lagging, sir. So I hope if you have in mind or in future, if you have any ideas on that, we will expect a positivity for our Warangal. So kindly answer this question and let us close the session.
Thank you. At the outset, I would like to request Panduranga Rao Garu, Professor Panduranga Rao Garu, to help me in building a pranganam near Ramappa temple. My proposal is going to Government of India. So the pranganam will be about 1 acre or 5 acres of land, which will have a museum to talk about heritage and culture of Ramappa temple. And in that area, incidentally, the Shilparamam in Hyderabad is also my concept, which I brought from Vizag. So in this pranganam, I want to do a similar concept of Shilparamam, where the local tribe culture, heritage, products are both manufactured and sold at the same place. So that the tourists do not only take selfies and go away, they also get some awareness and buy some local products and go. So I will be approaching you, sir, separately, and I will request you to give me the guidance in that. And industry side, when I was in APIC, I have given 500 acres of land near Jangaon. I have identified for industrial belt. And the Malapu program, somebody mentioned about Malapu Foundation, which also is formed by me. Malapu Foundation, incidentally, is, I'm sorry, I'll take 2 minutes. Malapu Foundation is got a ethos and principles. The philosophy of Malapu Foundation is nobody should beg or borrow or steal. A person who is born in India should live with dignity and self-esteem. And that will come only if you have a skill. If you don't have a skill and attitude, as I told you, you cannot do something of your own. So my principle is everybody should have at least one skill and an attitude to work so that there is employment or self-employment. I'm changing the paradigm, saying that instead of becoming an employee, become an employer. That is a paradigm in which Malapu Foundation is working all over the country. Our presence is there in AP, Telangana, Karnataka, Jharkhand, Punjab, Maharashtra. They are working there. So that is how the Malapu Foundation is working. So Malapu Foundation also has given 300 acres of land. Malapu Lidcap has given 300 acres of land in Warangal. So Warangal has a special place in my heart. Both because I spent 5 years of my youth here in this campus in Warangal. That is one reason. Second, as an officer, my best years of 2.5 years as DIG Warangal was again spent here. I associate myself a lot with Warangal. So my interest today is to contribute to Warangal and make not only Warangal town, but the entire region a much better place for its people to live. So I'm thinking on that, I'm working on that. My idea is basically how do you promote skills, employment and self-employment. So I know why Srinivas Garu has asked me a question, because some of you will find the DP in my WhatsApp is I'm with the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. So I joined BJP party recently, and luckily and interestingly, I don't know why, party has also asked me to take interest in Warangal area. So hopefully if I get a good opportunity, I will be in a position to give something big or big magnitude to Warangal region. I will not restrict myself to the town, but the entire North Telangana region is something I'm interested in giving back. But my teams are working in Gadchiroli also in Maharashtra. So I think I answered your question.
Thank you, sir. Hope your vision will come true. And we are also working our NIT Warangal Alumni chapter on a skill development program, sir. We have a wing of Global Technology and Development Training Center running by our alumni. It is an initiative of alumni. Hope we will take your support, not only time, talent, even treasure also, something from your contribution also, from your foundation or whatever. So thank you, sir. With this closing note, let us conclude this interaction session. This time for introduce our next session guest, Engineer J. Ratan Kumar and team. Before that, we will have felicitation to our esteemed honorable guest today, Sri T. Krishna Prasad Garu, IPS. Please join our alumni senior members for the felicitation. Hello. Now it is a session of spectacular dance program by Engineer J. Ratan Kumar. You will get the calendars. Each and everyone will get the calendars. Ratan? Okay, it is time for spectacular dance program by Engineer Ratan Kumar. He is a proud student of Perini Ramakrishna, Sri Nataraja Ramakrishna. So he'll explain what is Perini for 2-3 minutes. Will you go there or from podium? Okay, I request all the dignitaries on the dais to take the seat in front of the dais. Let us have the program will be continued after dance program. We'll have a felicitation to all our honorable
Somebody
guests of
has,
honor.
excuse me, sir.
Sir.
Somebody has forgotten their mobile phone on stage. Could they please pick it up?
Memento present. ఉండదు సార్ రండి ఇగో ఒక్క నిమిషం అరే 4 చిన్నవి తీసుకో 4 చిన్నవి మెమోంటోస్. ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ ప్రొఫెసర్ వైఎన్ రెడ్డి గారు, ప్రొఫెసర్ పాండురంగారావు గారు, శ్రీ గోవర్ధన్ రావు సార్, రిజిస్ట్రార్ గారు, అయ్యో వేణు వేణు ఫెలిసిటేషన్ సార్ 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 ప్లీజ్. అండ్ శ్రీమతి సుమతి దేవి గారు, సూపరింటెండెంట్ ఇంజనీర్. Your presence itself is the occasion, sir. Great, sir. ఒక్క చైర్ దే, సురేందర్ సార్ ఒక్క చైర్, ఒక్క చైర్ తీసుకురా విక్రమ్.
చాలా రోజులైంది అసలు మన కానీ కలవట్లేదు, అసలు శ్రీనివాస్ కూడా కనిపించట్లేదు. వెరీ బిజీ.
లేదు సార్, మా ఒక్క చైర్ దేమండి, చైర్ ఒక్కటి తీసుకురా. రండి సార్, ప్లీజ్ రండి సార్. సార్ సార్కి ముందు అనుకున్నాం, మీరు వచ్చారు కాబట్టి పెద్దవారు కదా సార్. అయ్యో సార్, రండి సార్, పైకి రండి మీరు కూడా. సార్ ప్లీజ్ కూర్చో. దిస్ ఈజ్ ద అకేషన్. మీరు ఉండండి సార్. Professor Y.N. Reddy sir is our founder secretary of Nitwa Varangal chapter. Kindly give a thunders of applause because his foundation, he written the constitution, bylaws, and registered our association in the year 2002. That registration number also, that is 156 of 2002. He is the person behind that. We proudly felicitate our sir as the Dean Student Welfare. Sorry, Dean Faculty Welfare. I request Irrigation Department alumni who are present here. Madam is our superintendent engineer. Actually, I called all three superintendent engineers, alumni, in Warangal. One is our Nagendra Rao, SC R&B. Another one is Raghuvira Reddy, SC PR. And Madam is SC Irrigation Department. No, sir. Next meeting we will call all the. ఇంకొకటి ఎవరు మన రిజిస్ట్రార్ సార్ వెళ్ళిపోయారు సార్ రిజిస్ట్రార్ ఓకే వెళ్ళు వస్తా అన్నాడు ఓకే విజయ్ కుమార్ కొంచెం లైటింగ్ ఏదో చూసుకో లైట్ బంద్ చేయమన్నాడు
సార్ డాన్స్ స్టార్ట్ చేయమంటారా సార్ ప్లీజ్ హాల్ లైట్లు బంద్ చేసి కొంచెం స్టేజ్ లైట్లు మాత్రం ఆపరేట్ చేయండి ఈరోజు ప్రదర్శనిస్తున్న అమ్మాయిలు అందరూ ఇంజనీరింగ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ మెడిసిన్ స్టూడెంట్స్ పేరిణి నాట్యం ఈ పేరిణి నాట్యం కాకతీయుల పరిపాలనలో కొనసాగిన పేరిణి నాట్యం కొంతకాలం తర్వాత మరుగున పడిపోయింది ఆ నాట్యాన్ని ప్రఖ్యాత నాట్యాచార్యులు మా గురువుగారు డాక్టర్ నటరాజ రామకృష్ణ గారు ప్రస్తుతం యునెస్కో గుర్తు పొందిన రామప్ప ఆలయంలోని శిల్పాలకు ఆధారంగా వాటిపైనున్న మృదంగ వాయిద్య నర్తకీమణుల నర్తకుల యొక్క విన్యాసాలను క్రోడీకరించి మళ్ళీ సృష్టించి పునర్జీవం పోసి ఆ నాట్యాన్ని మాకు అందించారు అందులోని భాగంగా మేమందరం నేర్చుకుంటూ ప్రతి నేటి యువతరానికి నేర్పిస్తూ మన సంస్కృతి సంప్రదాయాన్ని ముందు తరానికి అందించాలనే సంకల్పంతో చేస్తున్నాము అందులోని భాగంగా ఈరోజు గౌరవనీయులైన శ్రీనివాస్ గారు మమ్మల్ని ఆహ్వానించడం వారికి ముందు కృతజ్ఞతాభావంతో నమ్రతలు చెప్తున్నాము అలాగే నేను కూడా ఇంజనీరింగ్ స్టూడెంట్నే డిప్యూటీ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ ఇంజనీర్గా రిటైర్ అయిపోయి నాట్యానికి అంకితంగా ఇప్పుడు ప్రస్తుతము ఒక కంపెనీలో హెచ్ఓడిగా పనిచేస్తూ నేను ఉద్యోగం చేస్తున్నప్పుడు అప్పుడున్న ప్రధానమంత్రి రాజీవ్ గాంధీ గారు ఎన్టీ రామారావు గారు నాకు ప్రత్యేకమైన జీవోనిచ్చి ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఆర్టిస్ట్ అండ్ ప్లేయర్స్కి ఆన్ డ్యూటీగా వర్తింపాలని ప్రపంచ దేశాల్లో దాదాపు నేను ఒక 10 దేశాలు, అమెరికా, ఫ్రాన్స్, ఇటలీ, జర్మనీ, కెనడా అన్ని దేశాల్లో ప్రదర్శనలు ఇవ్వడానికి అవకాశం కల్పించారు. వారి యొక్క ప్రోత్సాహంతో మన భారతీయ సంస్కృతి సంప్రదాయాన్ని ప్రపంచ దేశాల వ్యాప్తంగా మేము మాకు తోచినంత ప్రచారం చేశాము. నేను చేసేది నవజనార్దన పారిజాతం భామాకలాపం. యాజ్ ఏ మేల్ ఉండి ఫిమేల్ ఆర్టిస్ట్గా నేను ఒక అమ్మాయి వేషంలో రాష్ట్రపతి భవన్ ఆర్ వెంకట్రామన్ గారు ఉన్నప్పుడు నాట్యం చేయడానికి నేను రాష్ట్రపతి భవన్కి వెళ్తే నన్ను అక్కడ జరిగిన ఒక సంఘటన, ఎస్కాట్స్గా లేడీస్ని ఇచ్చారు, లేడీస్ కానిస్టేబుల్స్ని, లేడీ అనుకొని. ప్రోగ్రామ్ అంతా అయిపోయింది. లాస్ట్కి అనౌన్స్ చేశారు, హీ ఈజ్ నాట్ సి ఈజ్ ద హీ రతన్ కుమార్ అని అన్నారు. వాళ్ళందరూ నిబ్బురపోయారు. అంటే మేము మేకప్ అయ్యాక అలాగా ఆ నడక, ఆ యొక్క హావభావాలతో, ఆ యొక్క లాస్యంతో నాట్యం చేసేవాళ్ళము. నేను భామాకలాపం చేయమని నన్ను అడిగారు, కానీ ఇక్కడ సమయం లేనందున నేను కొంత మా స్టూడెంట్స్తో నాట్యం చేయిస్తూ చివరిగా నేను భామాకలాపంలో చేసింది ఒక్కటి చిన్న బిట్టు మాత్రమే ప్రదర్శిస్తాను. అది కృష్ణుణ్ణి ఆ సత్యభామ ఆ గోపికా స్త్రీలతో కలిసి ఆయన ఆడుకుంటున్నప్పుడు ఈమె ఆ కృష్ణుణ్ణి వర్ణిస్తూ, అయ్యా నీవు రావయ్యా, నీ యొక్క మురళీనాదాన్ని వినిపించుకుంటూ నీ బంగారి మువ్వలు కాలికి గజ్జలు మోగుతూ నా దగ్గరికి రా అని బ్రతిమిలాడుతుంది. ఆ చిన్న సన్నివేశం మాత్రమే చూపిస్తాను. ముందుగా పేరిణి నాట్యం కంటే ముందు మన తెలుగువారి నృత్య కళలో ప్రతి ఆలయంలో ఒక నర్తకిమణి ఉండేది. ఆ నర్తకిమణి జీవితమే నాట్యానికి అంకితం చేస్తూ ఆ దేవుని సేవలో జీవించేది. ఆ నర్తకిమణిని దేవగణిక, దేవదాసి, దేవనర్తకి అనేవారు. ఆ నాట్యాన్ని కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం కొంతకాలం తర్వాత రద్దు చేశారు ఆ విధానాన్ని. ఆ తర్వాత అది మరుగున పడిపోతున్న సమయంలో మా గురువుగారు అది ఆలయ సంప్రదాయం, ఆగమ శాస్త్రం, హైందవ సంస్కృతిని పెంపొందించే నాట్యాన్ని మళ్ళీ ఒక గ్రంథంగా రచన చేసి తెలుగువారి నృత్యకళను, ఆలయాల్లో నర్తించే నాట్యాన్ని మాకందరికీ చెప్పించారు. ఇప్పుడు మేము ముందుగా ఆలయ సంప్రదాయంలోని త్రికుట ఆలయాలలో కుంభహారతినిచ్చి నాట్యం చేసిన నర్తకిమణిల యొక్క పుష్పాంజలి, కుంభహారతి, ఆ తర్వాత బ్రహ్మగద్య, పేరిణి నాట్యం, ఆ తర్వాత పేరిణి శివతాండవంలో అబ్బాయి అమ్మాయిలు కలిసి చేసే నాట్యం. చివరిగా నేను ఒక చిన్న అంశాన్ని ప్రదర్శించి మా ప్రదర్శన ముగిస్తాం. మీరందరూ మా విద్యార్థినులకు ఆశీస్సులు అందించాలి మనవి కోరుతున్నాను.
समस्त सद्गुण नय विनय विवेक वितरण विचक्षण दक्षा गूढ़ार्थ निर्णय निस्संदेह निराघाट निरवन्द्य गद्य पद्य वचन सुवचन तर्क वेदांत मीमांसा व्याकरण सांख्य योगादि शास्त्र पारेण संगीत साहित्य सकल कला प्रवीण सर्वेश भजत्वमु पुष्पत्पद वन्दनो
चिट्टलांग तगतलांग तगदिगितां दित्तै दित्तां दित्तै दित्तां दित्तै तद्धिच्चं तरित तिजं तरित जं तरित तकधिच्चं तरित तिजं तरित जं तरित तद्धिच्चं तरित तिजं तरित जं तरित तकधिच्चं तरित तिजं तरित जं तरित तद्धिच्चं तरितां तकधिच्चं तरितै तद्धिच्चं तरित कधिच्चं तरित कडकजं तकधिकितदिकिणत तकतदिकिणत तदिकिणत दिकिणत किणत तकधिकितदिकिणत तकतदिकिणत तदिकिणत दिकिणत किणत तकधिकितदिकिणत तकतदिकिणत तदिकिणत दिकिणत किणत
तां
తర్వాతి అంశం పేరిణి నాట్యం. ఇందాక ప్రదర్శించింది ఆగమ శాస్త్రాన్ని అనుసరించి ఆలయ సంప్రదాయము. ఆలయాలలో నర్తకిమణి కుంభహారతిచ్చి పుష్పాంజలి చూర్ణికను పఠించి పుష్పాంజలి సమర్పించిన తర్వాతే అసలైన పూజా కార్యక్రమాన్ని ప్రారంభించేవారు ఆ రోజుల్లో. ఇది దాదాపు 2000 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం జరిగిన నృత్యఖేళి ఇది. ఇప్పుడు కాకతీయుల కాలంలో వారు యుద్ధానికి వెళ్ళే ముందు వీర వనితలు, యుద్ధ భూమిలో వీర పురుషులు నాట్యం చేసి, పేరిణి అంటే తన శరీరాన్ని ప్రేరేపణ చేసి ఒక ఉద్రేకమైన బాడీని బిల్డప్ చేసుకోవడానికి జయాపసేన నాట్య గురువుగా ఒక నృత్యరత్నావళి ఆధారంగా నాట్యం నేర్పించి ఆ యుద్ధాల ముందు వాళ్ళు చేసిన నాట్య ప్రక్రియ, అందులో పురుషులు చేసేది తాండవము, స్త్రీలు చేసేది లాస్యం. అంటే స్త్రీలు యుద్ధభూమిలో చేసేవారే, పురుషులు కూడా యుద్ధభూమిలో చేసేవారే, కొంతమంది స్త్రీలు ఆలయాలలో కూడా చేసేవారు. అలాంటి ప్రక్రియను మా గురువుగారు మాకు నేర్పించారు. అందులోని భాగంగా ఇప్పుడు మీ ముందు బ్రహ్మగద్య అనే నృత్యాంశాన్ని మా చిన్నారులు ప్రదర్శిస్తారు.
सृष्टिकारणमूर्तये नमो नाथ नमस्तस्मै सृष्टिकारणमूर्तये नमो नाथ नमस्तस्मै सृष्टिकारणमूर्तये पद्मासन चतुर्भक्त चतुर्भुज नमोस्तुते पद्मासन चतुर्भक्त चतुर्भुज नमोस्तुते नमो नाथ नमस्तस्मै सृष्टिकारणमूर्तये नमो नाथ नमस्तस्मै सृष्टिकारणमूर्तये पद्मासन चतुर्भक्त चतुर्भुज नमोस्तुते पद्मासन चतुर्भक्त चतुर्भुज नमोस्तुते चतुर्भुज नमोस्तुते चतुर्भुज नमोस्तुते चतुर्भुज नमोस्तुते तरीं धनत कुंतरितारे धनात धनात धीं धिमित जं झं तरीं धनत कुंतरितारे धनात धनात धीं धिमित जं झं तरीं धनत कुंतरितारे
तडंग तक धिमि तक तदिगिणतुं तच्चं चं तक चें तचम ततरुम तथनम तकटकचम तच्चम चम तकजेम तकचेम तजम ततरुम तथनम तकटकचम जम तजम तजम तचम जम तजम तकटकजम तचम तचम जम तजम 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 जम तजम तकटकजम तचम तचम जम तच्चम रुम तच्चम किन तच्चम नम तच्चम कृतकचम कृतकचम जम तच्चम रुम तच्चम किन తజ్జం రం తజ్జం కిడతగజం కిడతగజం జం జనుత రుం రుం త కిం కిన్నత నం నం త తం త తక తది కిన్నతో జం జం త రుం రుం త కిం కిన్నత నం నం త తం త తక తది కిన్నతో జను 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 త దిమి 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 త కిణ 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 త నన 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 తక దిమ్ జను 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 త దిమి 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 త కిణ 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 నన 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 త తక దిమ్ జను 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 తకిట దిమి దిమ్ దిమి తకిట కిణ 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 తకిట తం తకిట జను 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 తకిట దిమి దిమ్ దిమి తకిట కిణ 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 తకిట తం తకిట 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 తం తధింగిణ తక తధింగిణ తక దిక్కు తధింగిణ తకిట తకిట తం తధింగిణ తక తధింగిణ తక దిక్కు తధింగిణ తకిట తకిట తం తధింగిణ తక తధింగిణ తక దిక్కు తధింగిణ
సనక ప్రముఖ ప్రతిబద్ధ సఖం సుర బృంద సమన్విత పద్మపదం కనక ప్రముఖ ప్రతిబద్ధ సఖం సుర బృంద సమన్విత పద్మపదం కనక ప్రముఖ ప్రతిబద్ధ సఖం సుర బృంద సమన్విత పద్మపదం సరసిజ భవనం సరసిజ వదనం సరసిజ నాభసుతం సరసిజ భవనం సరసిజ వదనం సరసిజ నాభసుతం करधृति कनकं घनमति अनघं जितशतपत्रकरम् करधृति कनकं घनमति अनघं जितशतपत्रकरम् प्रकटित विभवं प्रमुदित हृदयं प्रतिदिन सृष्टिकरम् प्रकटित विभवं प्रमुदित हृदयं प्रतिदिन सृष्टिकरम् शतमखनिमितं सकलितकलुषं शतधृतिताडमिदम् शतमखनिमितं सकलितकलुषं शतधृतिताडमिदं तत् तत् शतधृतिताडमिदं तत् तत् शतधृतिताडमिदम् सनक प्रमुख प्रतिबद्ध सखं सुरवृन्द समन्वित पद्मपदम् सरसिज भवनं सरसिज वदनं सरसिज नाभसुतं करधृति कनकं घनमति अनघं जितशतपत्रकरम् प्रकटित विभवं प्रमुदित हृदयं प्रतिदिन सृष्टिकरम् शतमखनिमितं सकलितकलुषं शतधृतिताडमिदम् शतधृतिताडमिदं तत् तत् शतधृतिताडमिदं तत् तत् शतधृतिताडमिदम्
తర్వాతి అంశం పేరిణి శివతాండవం. ఈ పేరిణి శివతాండవం మీ ముందు ఒక అబ్బాయి ప్రారంభిస్తారు. జుగుల్బందుగా అమ్మాయి అబ్బాయిలు కలిపి యుద్ధ భూమిలో ఎలా చేసేవారో వాళ్ళ బాడీని బిల్డప్ చేసుకోవడానికి, శరీరాన్ని ప్రేరేపణ చేయడానికి చేసిన యుద్ధ భూమిలో చేసే నాట్యం పేరిణి శివతాండవం ఇప్పుడు మీ ముందు. ఆ తర్వాతి చివరి అంశం ఒక భామకలాపంలోని చిన్న బిట్టుతోని ముగిస్తాము. ఇప్పుడు పేరిణి శివతాండవం.
Dari pukunam gana pukuta kirta jaganam to dari putajam kita taka jam kita to.
ఇప్పుడు చివరి అంశంగా సత్యభామగా నేను ఇప్పుడు లేను, కానీ ఆ పాత్రను నాలో లీలం చేసుకొని అభినయాన్ని మాత్రం మీ ముందు చేసి చూపిస్తాను. భామా కలాపంలోని ఒక 3-4 నిమిషాల ఒక గీతం ఆ శ్రీకృష్ణుణ్ణి ఆ సత్యభామ ఎన్ని విధాలుగా వేడుకుంటూ వర్ణిస్తూ రారా మా ఇంటికని ఆహ్వానించిందో అందులోని చిన్న సన్నివేశాన్ని మీ ముందు ప్రదర్శిస్తాను. ఇక ముందు ఎప్పుడైనా అవకాశం ఉంటే నేను 3 గంటలు మేకప్ చేసుకొని సత్యభామగా మీ ముందు నిలబడి గంటన్నర ఏకధాటిగా దరువులు వేస్తూ నాట్యం చేస్తాను. అలాంటి అవకాశం కల్పిస్తే తప్పకుండా నేను ఈ ఎన్ఐటిలో ప్రదర్శనలు ఇస్తాను. నా కూతురు కూడా గొప్ప నర్తకి, గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా స్కాలర్షిప్ హోల్డరు. ఆమె జేఎన్టీయులో బీటెక్ చేసి, వాగ్దేవిలో ఎంటెక్ చేసి, టీసీఎస్లో జాబ్ చేస్తూ ఇటీవలే కెనరా బ్యాంక్ పీఓగా పోస్టును పొంది ఆర్బీఐలో కూడా మొన్న రాసి ఇటీవలే జాబ్ కూడా కొట్టింది. ప్రస్తుతము ఆ అమ్మాయి నా కూతురు బాంబేలో ఉద్యోగరీత్యా ఉన్నందున నాతో పాటు రాలేదు. ఆ అమ్మాయి మన రాష్ట్రంలో ఉన్న ప్రతి యూనివర్సిటీల ఏ కార్యక్రమాలు జరిగినా అందులో ప్రతి వాళ్ళు మా అమ్మాయి ప్రదర్శన లేకుండా జరిపించలేరు. ఒక స్టూడెంట్గా వాళ్ళు ఆ అమ్మాయి యొక్క ప్రదర్శనను తిలకించారు. ఒక పేరెంట్గా నేను ఆనందించాను, ప్రదర్శనలు ఇప్పించాను. ఈరోజు చేస్తున్న అమ్మాయిలు 3 అమ్మాయిలు ఇంజనీరింగ్ స్టూడెంట్స్, 2 అమ్మాయిలు మెడిసిన్ స్టూడెంటు, ఇంకో అబ్బాయి ఇంటర్మీడియట్ చదువుతున్నారు. వీళ్ళందరూ వాళ్ళంతా తమ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ చేస్తూ అవకాశం ఉన్నప్పుడల్లా జాతీయ అంతర్జాతీయ స్థాయిలలో ప్రపంచ తెలుగు మహాసభల్లో ఇటీవలే 3 రోజులు 4 రోజులు హైదరాబాద్లో మీటింగ్ జరిగిన ప్రధానమంత్రి నరేంద్ర మోడీ గారి సమక్షంలో వారి ఎదుట ప్రదర్శన ఇచ్చి వారి చేతుల మీదుగా ప్రశంస పత్రాలను కూడా పొందడం జరిగింది. నేను ఇలా 4వ ప్రధానమంత్రిగా ఆయన ముందర ప్రదర్శన ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. నేను వరుసగా 4 ప్రధానమంత్రులు, 5 రాష్ట్రపతుల ముందర కూడా ప్రదర్శన ఇచ్చాను. ప్రపంచ దేశాల్లో ఎన్నో ప్రదర్శనలు ఇచ్చాను. చివరికి ఈరోజు నేను కళాసేవ చేస్తూ నిన్ననే వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామి బ్రహ్మోత్సవాల ప్రభుత్వం తరఫున ప్రదర్శన ఇచ్చాను. రేపు మళ్ళీ అదే బ్రహ్మోత్సవాల్లో పేరిణి నాట్య ప్రదర్శన ఉంది. ఎప్పుడు కళాసేవ చేస్తూ నా ఉద్యోగ రీత్యాన్ని నేను ముందుకు నడిపిస్తూ ఎడ్యుకేషన్తో పాటు పిల్లలు కూడా కళాసేవ చేస్తూ ముందుకు వెళుతున్నారు. అది మీ అందరి యొక్క ప్రోత్సాహము, మీ యొక్క కల్పించిన అవకాశమే మేము వాడుకుంటూ మీ ముందు తరానికి వస్తున్నాము. ఇప్పుడు చిన్న బిట్టు మాత్రమే ప్రదర్శిస్తాను.
Let us have a standing ovation for them. Thunders of applause for the engineer Ratan Kumar and team. I request all the Varangal chapter EC team members come on to the dais and join for the felicitation to the team, and followed by group photo with our honorable guest also. So I request our guests also, please come on to the dais and join for the felicitation. I request student council members, those who are responsible for Prabhat and team, also come on to the dais. Let us have a big group photo so that it will be published in the calendar 2024. Please come and join.
Very good evening to all. I take this opportunity to propose formal vote of thanks on this occasion of releasing NIT Warangal calendar from Alumni Association. I'd like to thank our director. In spite of his busy schedule, he made his presence and gave us a valuable speech. And I thank our distinguished alumni, Sri T. Krishna Prasad Garu. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable information and sharing your experiences and motivating our budding chemical engineers. Thank you very much, sir. I thank our Dean, Faculty Welfare, and also Founder Secretary of NIT Warangal Alumni Association, Professor Y.N. Reddy Garu. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And I thank our Dean Student Welfare, Professor P. Ravikumar Garu. He was also advisor for NIT Warangal Alumni Association. Thank you very much, sir. And I thank our Superintendent Engineer invitee, Madam Sunita Madam Garu, Sumati Madam Garu. Thank you very much, Madam, for your valuable presence on this occasion. I thank finally our J. Ratan Kumar and team for their amazing performance finally. Thank you one and all. And I thank all our invitees, students, and council members. Thank you one and all for making this event grand success. Thank you. Thank you one and all.
This event would not have been possible without the efforts of the President Chandragiri Srinivas. So he has taken a lot of pains to see that what we have done today. So appreciation to Chandragiri Srinivas, President Warangal Chapter.